We can switch the one off, can't we? Because he won't stop now. That's it. Saturday brunch with Neil Thompson. That's what it'll be.
Afternoon tea as well.
So anyway, Neil Thompson, Chief Exec of the Grand Theatre in Blackpool, is with us. We're going to have a chat about what's coming up at Blackpool shortly. But I wanted to sit you down, and obviously you've heard about the Guildhall in Preston and what's happening there.
So up the road, too.
But I mean, the situation is at the moment they're cutting funding now. Although that pushes audience in your direction, and there's a smile on your face on that side of things potentially.
No. Well, let's get this straight. I think any cutting of funding or any cutting of entertainment in a time of recession, when people want to be brought out of what's a doom and gloom situation, they need fun, they need entertaining. It was the time of the recession, before you start, in the 1920s. I wasn't there. No, being serious, when there's a time of recession and doom and gloom, people need entertaining. It's just unfortunate that these cuts are so great. And Preston isn't the only place. Blackpool, we've had cuts. I think there'll be further cuts in all areas. We're having some of our funding cut from Blackpool Council. We're in a slightly more fortunate position that we are a trust and we haven't been heavily funded in the past. Darlington has got exactly the same problem, the Civic at Darlington. I don't know what cuts are going there, but I've heard about it and there's potential rescue bids. And it causes a great deal of problem throughout the entertainment industry. You say, oh well, okay, there's going to be a cut, there's going to be no venue. But when you've not a number of venues, then you get the cuts of the shows. And you know, Henry's not here and Bill...
Yes.
No, well, he won't be up yet. But Bill Kenwright, producer of shows up and down the country, they then have no venue, and therefore the shows get cut. They don't put any new product out, and things get stale. And it is a shame. I mean, I have no political affinity, but it is a shame that the area is having the entertainment cut. And other entertainments, I mean, when you think about it, swimming baths, I presume, will go, information centres, libraries. Yes, it's a shame, especially in the time of doom and gloom.
And not only that, it's the roll-on effect as well, isn't it? Because it's not just the venue itself, it's the people that come out for the pre-show suppers and go and perhaps have a drink in a bar before they come along to you and things like that, or to the Charter. That business, hotel businesses for cast and people who come and see shows, because people follow shows around the country. If it's not there, there's a loss there in general, isn't there, what people will spend?
Yes, it's the spend per head relating to the particular function. I mean, okay, Joseph, how many have we got there? 26-ish, and he'll tell me when he gets here. So, but I mean, 26. Look at all the big shows that tour around the country. It's going to have an impact on the country, local economy, every economy. I mean, London is the same. There's no new shows out, and what's happening is that the big boys, ATG and Bill Kenwright, are amalgamating. Not amalgamating. Well, with Rewind, Bill, you're not amalgamating, but they're working together more, and therefore it just shows that there's an economic squeeze.
Do you think, I mean, we've started a campaign, we're following one called Save the Preston Guildhall, which is on Facebook, trying to at least get some impact and some shared information out there. Do you think there is a hope for turning these sorts of things back, or do you think once it's set, like the Preston one is now, they've had an emergency meeting and set it, do you think these things can be overturned, or is it pretty much this is as it goes?
Well, I would think, I don't want to be political about this at all, but I mean, there is a need for it, and I think there'll be a point where you'll get to the stage where there will be little or less entertainment in Preston, and probably the people of Preston will actually rise up and say, well, there is a need for it. There may be, you know, I think there'll be a dip and then it'll rise again, and in all these recessions there's a dip. We're a luxury item, the theatre. We are a luxury item. You're competing with a gold ring or a diamond ring. I mean, next door to us, we have the ground at Blackpool, we've got jewellers. You come into the theatre and you buy a memory. The memory lasts for 2 hours. You can go in the jewellers, which is roughly the same price for some things, and you can actually walk away with something, and even that's a luxury item. So, you know, entertainment is a luxury, it's a great form of release, but actually it's an expensive luxury item that some people can't afford, and it'll get worse.
Well, yes, it does look that way. So we just hope that perhaps if we do organise ourselves and show the council, you know, that there is support there for it, perhaps we can have some influence and turn something, you know, opposite direction.
Yes, and I think also, I mean, the Guildhall is a fabulous place when it was built, but unfortunately I think, you know, it falls into that niche. We've got the same problem with the Opera House in Blackpool. You know, I think the Guildhall is about 2,100 seats, and it was great at the time. All these places have been superseded by arena concerts. I mean, the biggest thing was the MEM at Manchester, and it goes on and so on and so forth. And the same situation arises with the O2 in London. Everybody thinks, great, now, I mean, I went to the O2 the 14th day it was open with some school kids from Blackpool. Thought, oh yes, this is only going to be on for 12 months. Crikey, what a building. What you could have in here, you could have indoor cricket, it was that big. You could have 14 tennis courts. I mean, they had 2 road sweepers, literally road sweepers, did the arena in the O2 when I went down. Fantastic. Now, what is it? 35,000 seat venue. Great. But that supersedes everything else and everything else and everything else. I mean, you've got to look at the Peter Cave situation. Started in the Tower, 1,700 seats or whatever it is, does a few gigs in there. Then his next move in Blackpool is the Opera House, 2,972, 50 standing, 2 or 3 gigs there. Where do we go now? Then we go to the arena situation. The next thing will be at Manchester Football Ground, 75,000 on the Reds. I believe I'm surrounded by a lot of blues in there. Sorry. No, I think, you know, there's a lot of things that have changed that causes these problems around the country, and it's just a shame for entertainment, but we're all travelling people, aren't we? We'll all move about a bit and away we go. Says he who's been at the ground for 30 years.
Man and boy.
Man and boy.
Yeah, we'll have a chat about what's coming up very shortly. Time for a bit more music. What are you mouthing at me now?
Killers.
The what?
What? Killers.
The Killers? Who, where, what?
What?
Oh, you're only human, Richard. It's all right.